Hello everyone and welcome back to another video of mine. This time I'm back with Not Me, episode 3. This show has me hooked, like I'm not even gonna lie, and I'm so excited for this episode. I really need to know what happens. We saw that Sean is very worried about White, he thinks it's black. This man seems to be very worried about black. So I'm actually wondering if Sean ever had feelings for black, or if there was this kind of story, or maybe there was just like this animosity towards them. And considering the fact that they were always at each other's throats, seeing that black was actually willing to quit what they all have been fighting for in order to create finally justice for all the people that have been harmed because of Tawi's wrongdoings, because of the fact that he's above the law, made Sean kind of feel sympathy for black because of the fact that he almost died. And we could see that he started to truly worry about black. So I'm intrigued to know what this story is about, but also York has found himself a nice little crush with the painter that we saw in episode 2. He was completely mesmerized by him. He literally fell in love with this man's gaze. Now that's love, when you are that hooked on someone just because of the way they were looking at you. So I'm really intrigued to know what this episode is gonna be like. If you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe. For the full uncut reaction, you can check out my Patreon. The link is in my description box below. And without further ado, let's start.
ท้ากูแข่งแล้วก็แพ้เองถ้ากูไม่ต่อให้มึงก่อนมึงไม่มีทางชนะกูหรอกกูแพ้แล้วไงกระโดดนี่โอ๊ยมึงจะเอาใช่ป่ะไอ้แบ็ค
เสร็จต้องฉลองกันหน่อยใช่ไหมในฐานะที่สอบผ่านข้อเขียน
yes.
This man feels so out of place. He actually seems to feel more alive when he's with the gang than when he's with his own father.
ส่วนตัวไว้เองเนี่ยจะคิดแบบไหนยังไงก็ควรจะเก็บไว้ในใจ
มันจะเป็นไปได้ป่ะถ้าวันหนึ่งเธอเดินมาบอกเราว่าเธอไม่อยากพ่นกราฟฟิตี้ใส่บ้านใครอีกมันไม่ดีไม่ขอทำต่อ
แล้วไปเจออะไรมา
Black
เปล่า
น้ำโมทำงานเกี่ยวกับสตรีทอาร์ตรู้จักศิลปินที่ชื่อยูนาปะเขาเป็นใครอ่ะดังมากปะ
ยูน่าเนี่ยทำงานเกี่ยวกับคริติไซส์ปัญหาสังคมอ่ะ
มึงจำวันที่เราเข้าไปเผาบ้านทวีได้ปะตามเช็คแม่งมาแม่งคือศิลปินคนนี้เว้ยแม่งคงทนไม่ไหวเหมือนกับพวกเรากูอยากให้แม่งมาทำงานกับเราด้วย
Oh my god. Look at that clothing style. Oh, I love this. Hot as fuck. Oof. And that's your fault? Then she should call a friend.
โทรศัพท์ดิวะ แม่ไม่ต้องมาทำงานแล้วเดี๋ยวโยกหางานทำเอง
I was so mesmerized right now, I didn't know what to say. I cannot with this show. They're not only tackling the fact that they believe that the government is faulty and that it needs a change, but they're also talking about that there are a lot of people that express their opinion anonymously about the system in general and about their likes, about what they truly want to let the world know, because they feel like the government isn't happy with the fact that people have their own opinions. They don't want anyone to oppose them. They don't want anyone to say something bad about the system or about the fact that the system is wrecked. If they do, or if the work, like, for example, that guy that kept on spray painting, we found out that this man is talking about social criticism. And because of the fact that he is criticizing the system, people that try to be kiss asses, Namo, I think her name was Namo, she said that kiss asses removed Unas, I think that's his artist name, they removed his art because it literally is talking about social criticism. And that's not only criticizing in general what's happening, but it's also criticizing the fact that the system is faulty and that the government isn't doing its job properly in taking care of people. As in, the government isn't doing what it's supposed to make their people feel safe and happy. There are a lot of people in this country that are announcing their opinion anonymously because they feel like if they do it publicly, they will be hunted down and be punished just because of the fact that they have an opinion. And the system in general, we saw it with what White's father did. He said, you say your opinion, but with respect and humble, because you don't want to offend them. You think with the best interest at heart for both parties, but keep your own opinion out of it. So technically, you say what someone else wants to hear. Your own opinion does not matter here. You say what someone else wants you to say, and then you have a chance of winning. If you say what you truly feel, you'll be put aside because your opinion does not matter in their eyes. And that's kind of what they're trying to build up here. The fact that White's father is a diplomat, and him saying that says so much already. That was him saying that the government does not care about the opinion of its citizens. They do what they feel is right. They try to create rules that they themselves feel comfortable with, as in they try to put rules out that benefit them, as in the people that work in the ministry, and don't care about what it could do to its citizens. And White's father literally saying, you keep your opinion to yourself and you just try to find a way to make happy both sides, was him technically saying, you keep your opinion to yourself. If you have a problem with how the system, or in general the government, deals with its city, you keep that opinion to yourself. You say what the government wants to hear. This is a perfect example of what I said with an example, my depression. She is a mute, so she can't talk. She can only do sign language. The one that hired her didn't know that she couldn't speak, and she started to feel uncomfortable. Which, first off, I don't understand why you feel uncomfortable if someone can't talk. Okay? Like, in my eyes, I can express a lot of things just by looking at you. Like, if I'm looking at you and I have that rage on my face, you know what I'm feeling. I don't necessarily need to speak. First off. Second off, the fact that she said she hired someone else because she wanted someone to keep her company and talk to her. What is this? Like, this is so sad. And the problem is that this is a real problem. A lot of people that have disabilities, for example, there are people that can walk, there are people that have a heart disease, or people that are blind, mutes. They all have that problem to live a normal life. Because in my eyes also, normal is said nicely. I wouldn't want to have someone normal in my life because I'm not normal myself. Like, I'm crazy. I am unique. I am special. I don't want to be normal. But apparently, in order to get something in life, you need to be normal in the eyes of the government, which means you can't have personal problems, you can't have a disability, you only must want to work and make the state happy. Then you're a perfect candidate. You must not have any limitation. You must always be fueled with energy, and then you are perfect in their eyes. If you have some kind of limitation, whether it's mental sickness, or we saw it here, disabilities, then you are categorized as you not being worthy of living a normal life like everyone else, because you are not normal, because you have that limitation. So the people that have that limitation, that can't even do anything about it, like she can't do anything about the fact that she's a mute. She just is. And she's talking in sign language. And apparently that made the one that hired her feel uncomfortable. Why? I can't do anything about the fact that I'm a mute. I just want the person that I hired to do her job properly. That's why I hired her. I don't necessarily need to talk to a caretaker if I can say it like this. So it's actually an insult for someone that can't do anything about the fact that they have a disability to actually experience that people think of them as inferior, as someone that doesn't deserve to live normally like everyone else because they have that disability. And that causes them to also have mental problems then. They don't have only to suffer because of their physical limitation, but also they have to work with their psychological problems, because always being mistreated, always having been given the feeling that you aren't worthy because of the fact that you have a limitation, even though you can't do anything about it, it causes a lot of frustration. It causes desperation, sadness, anger. It makes you become depressed. Great. So then I don't have to worry because of one problem, but because of two. Beautiful.
เขาเห็นแม่เขาก็ดูถูกแล้ว
Yeah. But you shouldn't have to be used to it. But that's not
ถ้าแม่
it.
ทำแบบ
แต่มันก็จะมีพวกเด็กบ้านรวย privilege อะไรเงี้ยไม่ว่าจะ
Yes.
ทำอะไรคนก็ได้
Like
ตามเกรง
him.
ใจ ผมก็เลยต้องใช้ความสามารถเข้าสู้
Yeah, I'm sorry. I needed to put this out there. This is so sad. This is something that I noticed or had to acknowledge myself not so long ago. It's very sad that your happiness depends on someone else's opinion. It's like this in job interviews. It's like that with school. Your success depends on someone else's opinion, on someone else's view. If I think I did everything in my power, if I believe I did everything perfect, and the other person can't stand me or something like that, or they just feel that there is something off about you, or they just don't like you, they say you did everything wrong and they fail you. If I go into a job interview, for example, and I do everything in my power to show that I am worthy of getting a chance, and the person in front of me just can't stand me, or she thinks that I'm too young, I don't know, I'm too fat, I talk too much, I talk too little, or I'm not confident enough, even though everyone is nervous when they go into a job interview, they're like, you are not the one for me. So literally, your happiness, your luck depends on someone else's opinion, and I hate that, because that means that you can never ever truly show that you are worthy of getting this opportunity. A lot of people, sadly, this is true, and it's very, very sad. When you have that privilege, when you have those connections, it's more probably that you will get the job because you have those connections. You're like, come on, give her a chance. I can tell you she's a very good worker. Or if it's your dad, they're like, okay, I'm gonna take you here. If you don't have any connections, you literally need to fight to beat everyone else. Literally, it takes the opinion of someone else. If the opinion of someone says that you are good, then you are good. If the opinion of that person says that you aren't good, then that means you aren't. And that will always kind of make you feel miserable about yourself and feel like you're not good enough. And you always try even more, and to get rejected even more hurts even more. And it actually makes your self-esteem shrink more and more every single time that they tell you that they don't want you. Wyatt has the possibility. He has the connection because his father is part of the ministry. He has friends in the ministry. So, the father going to his friend and saying, come on, you're gonna let him pass. He is gonna get it. He is gonna get it, no matter what he says. If he says something that the ministry wouldn't like, or they would like, doesn't really matter. He's still gonna get the opportunity. If you don't have someone that has the connections, you will only get a kick in the ass, y'all. Always. And this is so sad, because everyone is good at something. Everyone has the opportunity and should get the chance to show that they are worthy, that they can do a lot of things if only given the chance. And the sad thing is that they never get the chance. So the fact that they're tackling this as well, heads up, they're tackling this as well. If you have opportunity, you are someone. If you don't get the opportunity or you don't have the connections, you are no one.
มันก็ไม่ใช่ทุกคนที่จะมีโอกาสเข้ามาสอบตรงนี้นะ
Their
คุณก็
chance.
รู้ว่า
1-2 ยับ 1-2 4 มัด
Punch me. Punch me.
แล้วมึงมาต่อยหน้ากูทำไมเบื่อไอ้นี่หว่า
That
ช่วยได้
was
ไหม
so
ไม่
unnecessary.
ต่อยกับมึงมานานแล้ว
Fight me. Fight me.
เดี๋ยวดิ พวกมึงหยุด
Hit me, daddy. Hit me.
มาแล้วมึงทำกับกูเมื่อวาน
มันเล่นอะไรกันวะ กูก็ไม่รู้ว่ะ กูรอดูอยู่เนี่ย
มา
I'm waiting to see
ดิ
it. Damn. Whew. I'm feeling it. Ooh. That was unnecessary, sir. This man knocked him out. He knocked him out cold.
มึงก็เล่นมันแสลงไงชอบ
Yuck, what are you doing, sir?
แบดทีใครทีมันนะ
Oof. Get away from the screen, sir. Please. Disrespectful.
มือเหรอมึง
And I'm being even more disrespectful.
กินบ้างของกู ขอดื่มก่อน
Sharing is caring.
ไอ้แบล็กที่กูสอนมา ต้องเก่งกว่านี้
He must know. He must know that it's not black.
มือมึงนิ่มจังวะ ไปทำอะไรมา
I use moisturizer.
แววตามึงไม่
That.
มีไฟเลยนะ ร่างกายมึงก็แย่ลง
ไปตอบกับกรรมการในห้องสัมภาษณ์ไง แกรู้ไหม หลายคนก็ไม่พอใจ
What about the answer he gave? There's nothing wrong about
ต้อง
that.
แจ้งตามข้อเท็จจริง แค่นั้นไม่ได้ แกต้องตอบว่า หลักการของ
So
ไท
I
ย
need
เนี่ย
to
อยู่ในมาตร
lie.
ฐานสากลทำแก่ทุกฝ่าย มันต้องตอบแบบนี้
But that's
That
not
part,
true.
คำตอบพวกนั้นน่ะ
Yeah.
มันไม่พูดถึงข้อเท็จจริงเลยนะครับ
Y'all, that's why I could never work in the government. They are all like this, and this is very sad. Why is this sad? Because they don't really care if they do anything wrong. And the even bigger problem is that they don't think that the people from their own country or people from the other country are capable to see their mistakes. If I, as a government, am doing harm or I am violating human rights, which is a fundamental right we are all possess, then it is my duty as the government to make sure that every single citizen of my city gets that right. If I ignore the problem, then I am not suited for that position. I need to work with the citizens. I can't work against the citizens because then that's gonna happen what I said in the first episode. If I work against the people, they will leave because they're like, you are not working for me. You're not trying to make life easier for me. You're trying to make life easy for you. If I, as a government, am doing something wrong, then I need to have the backbone and stand up for my mistakes. I need to acknowledge the fact that I did something wrong because we are all humans. So, considering the fact that we're all humans, we all make mistakes, so it's okay. If I make a mistake, I need to acknowledge the fact that I made a mistake and I need to find a way to solve the problem. I have the feeling sometimes that, considering about what the father just said, he thinks that the citizens don't have a brain to think themselves. If I, as a government, am doing something wrong, something that heavily as violating human rights, then I can't brush it under the rock. Who would want to work with me if I can't even make sure that my citizens get their fundamental rights? Like human rights are a fundamental right. Every single human being has the right to have those human rights. And if I, as a city, allow human right violations to happen, then this is my mistake. That's something I need to fix. And if another city, another state sees it and then decides to exclude you as part of the UNICEF nominations, then because of a specific reason, And the specific reason was literally that. They don't even think about trying to solve them. His answer was literally someone standing up for its citizens. Me as the government, I'm not just right because I'm the government. I'm a human being. Like, the government is ruled by human beings. And as we are all imperfect, we all make mistakes. And it's okay if we make a mistake, but then you need to acknowledge the fact and try to solve the problem. You can't just ignore the fact that you committed a problem and try to say that we are all fair. We are doing everything according by the law and the citizens are being dramatic. No, that's not how things work. Because if I as a citizen see that the government is doing the mistake, and so do other countries, which is the reason why they didn't allow me as a state to get nominated, then that's my mistake as a government. That means that I need to work on that problem. That means that I need to fix it. That means looking into the problems that are happening in my country and try to find a way to lend a hand to those people in need, to the people that feel like that their human right privileges are being violated. That's how you deal with things. And he is like, telling the truth is wrong. No, you expect me to represent a lie. We are not blind. We human beings are not blind. We can see that violations are happening. What makes you think that we are blind and don't see it? You actually think that if I give such an answer to the person that didn't allow me to be nominated, that they are going to be like, oh yeah, you're right. No, they're not blind. They can see it. They can see that violations have happened. And that's why they specifically decided not to include you. That means that you need to work on it.
จะรักษาผลประโยชน์ของประเทศเนี่ยมันต้องคำนึงถึงหลักมนุษยธรรมด้วยนะครับ
Yeah.
เป็นคนอื่นแล้วก็
You wouldn't have made it. Yeah.
คนอื่นเป็นลูก
But I'm
พ่อ
your
เลย
son.
เลยผ่าน
Yeah. Use the punching bag.
ทุกคนแข่งขันกัน ไม่ทางใดก็ทางหนึ่ง ไม่มีใครอยากแพ้ ที่ไม่เคยเปิดตาดูว่าตัวเองก็เป็นส่วนหนึ่งของปัญหามาโดยตลอด
But technically you're not. You can't do anything about the fact that you were born with that privilege. But it's the fact that he cares that much about other people that don't have the privilege that show that he could actually be part of the solution, not the problem. If I, as someone with privileges, stand up for the people that don't have those privileges, that means that the problem and injustice here is real. Sir, aren't you cold?
Yes,
I mean, I'm enjoying it, but sir.
ที่เราตั้ง
Whew. There he is. First. That's love eyes. I'm feeling it. Oh, he's willing to run after you. He's a simp. Excuse me? You coming here with your gun? Yeah, the
จะ
gun.
ตามผมอีกคุณไม่อยากเสียใจ
I could not regret meeting you, sir. Have you seen how fine you are? That's how I feel every time I see
กู
you
จะให้แบ็คมันนอนกับ
first.
มึงกูจะให้ใครนอนมันก็เรื่องของกู มึงไม่ต้องพูดมากเลยชอน เอ้า ของ
He's the
ไม่เป็นไร
biggest
เฮีย
shipper of
เข้า
them
ไป
all. You're gonna go in and you're gonna like it.
ยาวไหมให้เช็ดตัวเนี่ย
How could he even go and take a shower without having a
จะไม่ขอบคุณ
towel?
กูหน่อยเหรอ
พวงเป็นเด็กเลยนะมึง
Give it. Let's go. This man wants to see his dick. Come on now. If he keeps on pulling like that. He keeps on pulling like that. Oh, and he saw it.
แต่ยังไงมึงก็มีต้นทุนชีวิตสูงกว่ากูอยู่ดี แค่มึงเกิดมา มึงก็นำคนอื่นไปหลายก้าวแล้ว ยิ่งอยู่ที่เฮงซวยแบบเนี้ย คนอย่างกูที่ไม่มีอะไร ก็ต้องเหนื่อยหน่อย
Yeah.
ถ้ามัน
On
ไม่
a
แฟร์
better start than
มัน
anyone
ถูกต้อง
else.
จริงเหรอ ที่เราจะเล่นนอกกติกา
Yes, it is.
กูจะจับมึงไว้แบบนี้แหละ มึงลุกไปไหนกูจะได้รู้
That was his perfect excuse to take his hands. Come on now. Y'all, this show made me addicted and I want to keep on watching and watching and watching. This is not possible. This is unreal. This is surreal. Okay. So, or poor White, this man is so humble. This man truly cares about people. And he actually feels responsible for the misery of people that weren't born with privileges like he was. And because of the fact that he was born in a better family than someone else, he has better opportunities. He is part of the middle class. So he needs to work a lot to prove that he's worthy of getting the opportunity. And someone that is already off on a better start than I am as someone from the middle class doesn't really have to do much, yet they will still be the one to be picked. Like, they can have worse grades, they can have a worse attitude than me, but they will still get the opportunity and the chances because of the fact that they have the connections. And me, as someone that don't have the connections, I need to do everything in my power to prove that I am perfect, that I can do so much. We got to see a beautiful scene with White and Sean. Sean seems to be really concerned about Black and about his sudden change in character, and he seems to be worried about him. And to actually see that he started to tease him and started to open up to him about the fact that he doesn't feel like the system is right actually made White feel even more guilty, because he already knew that the system wasn't fair for people that didn't have, like, an example. We just found out that the mother is a judge because of the fact that she is a judge and the father is a diplomat. They are off better than everyone else. For an example, if he would have wanted to be a judge, he would have immediately gotten a high position because of the fact that his mother is a judge, because she has that opportunity to take him to where she works. So it's not like he would have needed to do much. His grades wouldn't have mattered, nor his attitude, because the mom has that high position. And the fact that Sean just made White see the fact that privileges are the reason why a lot of people feel like they are being mistreated made him feel so guilty. And I feel so bad for White, because he truly cares about people. And like I said, he could be part of the solution. Then we have our baby York and his lover. We still don't know his name, but he seems to be so infatuated, and I think it was intriguing that he was like, don't follow me if you don't want any regrets. What kind of regrets is this man talking about? I mean, he did point a gun at him. Is he willing to shoot him? First off. Second off, where did he get the gun? No matter. I hope you enjoyed this video with me. Tell me in the comments below what you think was best, and I will see you in another video.